Hiya, welcome to the Move to Combat Podcast, episode 1. I'm Dom.
And I'm Danny. And in this episode, we're going to talk about why we started this channel and what we enjoy about cEDH. So, yeah, let's get right into it. What are our motivations for starting this channel? I think major for me was cEDH channel in the UK. What about yourself?
Well, just, we obviously both like watching cEDH content, mainly like Play to Win, Modern On, stuff like that, playing with power, and cause our games casually, ended up being pretty like that though, didn't they? Like we're having fun, banter and that. A lot of swearing was probably obviously not going to do on camera as much, but it was similar, wasn't it? We thought these would be entertaining to watch, and it's kind of fun just to watch them back being recorded anyway. Yeah,
it was fun. We would watch Play to Win, and we'd talk about Play to Win. We'd watch Modern On, talk about Modern On, and then Kahlua, and we'd see a group of friends having fun on Discord or in person, and I'd be like, well, we do that. We like playing this game, and we would join in tournaments and found that we're actually not bad at this game as well, top 16 finishes and higher. And we're like, well, let's do it. And then a cursory search showed that there's not too much cEDH content in the UK being put out on a regular basis. And we thought, well, why shouldn't we do that? You know what I mean? We have a good knowledge of the game, spanning different amounts of time, but a lot of effort put into that. We both play the game well. We're both personable, we make friends, and as we were getting a group together for this channel, and I just thought, yeah, let's do that. Yeah. And it kind of was just an accident. We sat in my car, weren't we? And we were just like, should we do that? Yeah. And we were just like, yeah, we should give it a go.
A joke, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was no...
we could just do a channel. We could actually just do a channel.
I think that was the fun thing. It was not nailed down, we'll start it next week. It was just, I mentioned it, or you mentioned it, I don't even remember who. And then one week I was like, so what do we need? Yeah. And we're like, right, well, we're going to need this. And then we just started buying stuff.
If we hypothetically were to do a channel.
Yeah, and then we just started buying stuff and chucking it together. And then we told the other two, we're like, yeah, you're going to be on camera for that. Soz, but there's not that much cEDH options in the UK, especially where we live. So they either had to be on camera and not play cEDH, so we strung on them into that a little bit. But I don't think they mind.
No.
And, it's good. And then we thought, Discord. We play tournaments on Discord, and there's some nice people on Discord, so let's do it. But the main thing about all those channels we watched were they were based in America. A lot of the tournaments were based in America. And it's just something nice about being homegrown, isn't there?
Yeah.
From the UK and Europe.
Yeah.
So obviously that was a big emphasis for us. And also just sharing our thoughts about cEDH and about Magic in general. And hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as we do. And be able to, join us on this ride. So, I've been playing a lot longer than you.
Yeah.
I think I've been playing since I was 21, and I'm now
22.
So many years. You've only been playing now 3 years. And like mid-COVID, you started, right?
I started playing Magic Arena in mid lockdown in 2020, and then Christmas 2020 actually bought some Magic cards. And then,
I think my most fun thing about finding out how Dom got into Magic, was everyone else sort of starts at a casual level, works their way up, or they start off in the 60 card formats and they get their competitive edge from that. Dom did neither of those things. Dom sort of started playing casually and was like, but all these really good cards, why don't we use them? And just went straight into that and had some very, very strong casual decks, which is how we met, through a mutual friend and playing casually. And I was playing Mono White, you were playing
the Locust God.
Locust God Control, wasn't it? And then I think one of us brought up cEDH, and we both sort of talked about how much it was, and I said I'd never played it because I didn't have anyone to play with. You mentioned having your Ichor Chrome deck, and I was like, all right, give me 2 weeks and I'll have a cEDH deck. And you kind of had a look on your face like, of course you will.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, I turned up with Blood Pod and rocked yours and your brother's world because you only played against turbo decks up until that point, and stacks hadn't really entered your world.
You had the monocolor decks that were strong, right?
Yeah, I had the Mono Red Bergie and the Mono White deck, which I just juiced up a bit.
Yeah.
And that was the first week, wasn't it? I played those, and then I was like, this ain't good enough.
No. Well, because I brought Ichor Chrome. Because I did have the Thrasios Timna build, but I saw Play to Win do the Ichor Chrome and decided that was a better deck for me. So I had that, and then Scott, my brother, had Kenrith. So we brought that, and you said, oh, I've got monocolor decks, they're pretty strong. I'll just see how they hang, sort of thing, until you get Blood Pod together. and I won every game.
Yeah, I think to stress what I love about this is Dom had built this deck, and his brother had built his Kenrith deck, and they've been playing at that point for less than 2 years. Because I've known you for nearly 2 years now, and you're probably about 3 years in, and he'd already jumped straight to cEDH and was buying these cards, and that you'd put the money into it straight away. So you obviously decided you love this game. So, which leads me into sort of what I wanted to talk about next is what's your favourite thing about cEDH? Like cards, archetypes? Is it the people? What is it? What is it you love about it?
So I'd played Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, uber casual. Like didn't know any of the meta, any of it. It was just basically currency on the playground. So had Yu-Gi-Oh card. We had Pokemon cards a bit. We never learned how to play the game. No one ever does. So we had the Yu-Gi-Oh card. Played against each other. So I've got the Yugi deck, and now you've got a Kaiba deck, whatever. And it was like never thought about buying individual cards, just cracking past every time. Played Duel Masters, which was basically just a dumbed down anime form of Magic, which we'd never heard of, me and my brothers. And then I'm too old for card games, so we burned that off. And then my brother ended up with this Goblin deck.
I think we all tried to fool ourselves.
Oh yeah, so I'm too old for like Pokemon and anime. And it's just like it's like what am I doing? I know that lasted like a year, but like Adam had other brother had the Goblin deck that he got given at a card shop or something like that.
Yeah,
and we didn't know how to play the game. We thought it looked cool. And then during lockdown, I had no time. I had all the free time in the world, so I had nothing to do. So I was like, can I give me an ad for Magic Arena?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll play that.
They knew who they were targeting, didn't they?
Yeah. They did. I kept seeing it was like Chandra.
They knew if you didn't.
Yeah. Like, it looked cool from, like, the outside. I was like, I'll play this. And it was pretty cool. Again, didn't really understand anything, but started watching it, watched the commands on, and that seemed pretty cool. They explained everything. Then I stumbled on Play to Win, and instead of explaining every card, it was just bat, just doing it. And they did, like... They had like four permanents on board on turn one, and that was unheard of, like as far as I knew so far. And I was like, I want to play that.
I remember that enlightening moment.
Yeah.
Well, I think all of us cEDH players remember that moment. If we didn't play other formats and only played EDH, that moment we saw someone play like 8 spells on the first turn or 6 spells on the first turn, you're kind of like, I want to do that.
Or win on turn 2.
Yeah, and those uber fast wins. You know, especially when Flash Hulk was a deck, and just seeing people just smash the game in a ways that if you'd never played Legacy or Modern or these other very powerful formats, Vintage, if you'd only ever played EDH, it was almost unheard of to do that stuff. Like that's how I started. I started very casually with a very casual player group, but I'm a naturally very competitive person.
When did you start?
I started 21 years old, and in a group of very casual kitchen table Magic players, and I'm always naturally want to win. So when I had started with this bundle of green cards and wasn't winning games, I was like, well, we binned that off and went to always off. We did the research we needed to do to play control decks, and I think that's where my love of control and stacks came from. But I would be in a player group and they would have their decks, and I would drag the power level up because I always wanted to play the more powerful cards. I wanted to play the quicker cards. I wanted to play the more intense cards. And that player group, as much as I love them, and I still enjoy playing casual with them, they didn't want what I wanted. So I had to find, and I ended up finding yourself, your brothers, and others along the way that wanted to play this style of Magic. And it was just, I remember that enlightening moment of seeing 4 permanents come down all at once. It's crazy when... because some people are just not like that. I get that. Some people just don't want to do the competitive thing. I always ask myself the question, and I think you do this as well, is why would I play X when Y is better?
Yeah.
And I think that's something that every cEDH player, of course we like to broom, we like to try new things, but every cEDH player asks themselves the question, unless it's for redundancy, why am I playing X instead of playing Y? And that's something me and you bonded on really quickly.
Yeah, we quickly realised that we both wanted to... We didn't want to play it because we've actually both, by coincidence, had a banned enchantment deck, right?
Yeah.
My enchantment deck won a lot. And it was Tuvasa at the helm and you had the Kestia.
I had Kestia the Cultivator.
We both essentially did the same thing, right? The smash face, draw a lot of cards.
Yeah, mine was aggro little boys, lots of Enchantress shenanigans, and yours was aggro... Voltron, aggro, draw a million cards and smash face. Same ideas executed just slightly differently, and both won quickly. And Yeah, got out of hand as Enchantresses want to do.
But it took ages. Like,
Yeah.
do you get to points? It always got to this stage. And it happened on like game nights as well that I saw. Game nights is a really good show, but actually playing through it, I didn't enjoy it as much because you would just make a million angels. Not literally a million, but you have like 20 angels on board, triggers all over the place. Someone would have like a big army as well. The other person would, and no one would swing because everyone was scared of down on the crackback. It's only kill one person, and it would get to turn 20. I'm like, I want to be done with this now.
Yeah.
Like, it's enjoyable and I might win this game. And a lot of times I did, but it's like, you know, because it was a good deck. I spent time on it, I brewed with it, and I found different cards for it. And it's like, I don't enjoy this.
Yeah.
And then I saw it, and I found out what I nauseam was.
It's that restriction to yourself. Some people like that. Restriction does breed creativity. The creator himself said that. But I think we've got a different kind of restriction. We're restricted to only the very best. Because if we don't use that, we'll lose games. Whereas the restriction in the more casual end of the format is they're restricted on using these super powerful cards. Mine was kind of similar, very other end of the spectrum. I wanted to play Control. I wanted to play Stacks. Very much so. I wanted to play Thalia. I wanted to play these cards that made other people sad. I think in a non-competitive setting, that's frowned upon. Which, I get it, the games take a long time. If you can't finish the game, that's going to make you even sadder. I get that. But that's the style I like to play. And when you were sort of told you weren't allowed to do that, that made me like, well, why do I want to play this game? If I'm not allowed to do the thing I'm good at as well. It's not just that I like doing it, I'm good at it. That's how I win games, is by controlling the board, finishing the combo. I don't do it as quick as you do. I'm a control player, I'm a Death and Taxes player, that's how I like to play the game. And I wasn't allowed to do that. And my friend group, that previous to Dom, play group, they would indulge me, but I knew they weren't enjoying it, so I would never play it for long, and I would have different decks, but I always wanted to do the thing, and I didn't want to ruin their night. I met Dom, I met his brothers, and they didn't chastise me for it. They didn't make me feel bad for it. They were just kind of like, well, it's a puzzle to solve.
We didn't have a good time with it the first time.
No. Yeah, I think the first time ever Scott saw Blood Moon land is the saddest time. It's the only time I've seen Scott sad, actually.
Yeah.
He's usually perennially happy, but he had a 5-colour deck with no basics in it. So he was sad, but it was a puzzle to solve for both of you. And it made you better players, and it made me a better player having to get underneath what you were doing to stop what you were doing. But digressing into play styles and stuff, that's kind of what made us friends. I think if we would have all been turbo players, I think we'd have been friends. But I think the difference in styles, so the conversations we could have about what we like and how we do it, made us really close friends. And obviously we have the similar interests and stuff like that. But that's kind of where the channel bred from. I think from literally that first time we played cEDH together, I knew I was going. Well, first time I played Magic with Dom, I knew I was going to like this guy, and I had a feeling we clicked really quick, because I don't really talk to a lot of people. We clicked really quick and got to know each other, and then saw each other the next week and the week after, and I just knew it personally. I just thought, and I think that's really where the channel started.
Well, you slammed me in the face with Dahlia with those swords on it, and I didn't complain.
Yeah.
Because actually, no, in the first game you played the Taser deck, the Ozov deck, and you.
Yeah, the first game was the Taser combo deck.
Yeah.
Which I showed you all the combos in, and
well,
told you what it does.
You won very quickly. You wouldn't like turn 4 or something stupid,
Yeah.
right? And then because you were like you comboed out, and you could tell you were just a bit. You were staying very quiet. And you just sort of comboed out and did the thing, and then you kind of looked at me, and I was like, "Oh, cool! How'd you do that?" And you're like, "Yeah, and I've got this." It was redundancy and that sort of thing. You know?
Yeah, it was it was refreshing, because I was giddy because the thing worked, and it wasn't a fully optimized deck, but it worked, and it worked early. But I was also worried because I'm like, I've never played with this guy before, and I've just smoked him on turn 4, like, and he hasn't got a chance. Like, and I was showing him like I could either drain all his life, cast all my big Eldrazi's, or infinite damage him on turn 4, and I was really expecting that. Oh, you're one of them players, are you? And he didn't. He was just like, oh, cool, show me. And I showed him, and then that was it. And I think that's really the time that the channel was born.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, then I said, oh, I'm going to build a cEDH deck, and you were kind of like, course you are, bud. You know, that's a lot of money. And then I was just kind of like, I own most of these cards. But here we go, stuffed them all together, and then that's really when it started. And obviously we got on similar interests. You know what I mean? And that's where it started. But cut to nearly 2 years later, and we actually mentioned, oh, should we should we do a channel? Should we buy the stuff and just, stop paying, stop sort of going out and set up a room in my house to actually film. So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing two guys who have never done this before, have no knowledge, have sort of side knowledge from your brother, but he's busy, of how to do stuff. Just sort of putting together what they think is good.
We've learned as we went. We've already learned some stuff.
That's it, and I was hoping that you can enjoy this game that we're playing, but this real game that we're playing. This is us. This is what we're like. Some of my insults may be cut out because maybe it might sound like I'm being mean, and we might have to blank some of the swear words out. But mostly, this is us as we are, raw, enjoying Magic, and I honestly think is how most friend groups are when they enjoy Magic, because especially cEDH groups, you want to win, you want to dominate, you want to be better, but you also want to have fun, because what's the point if you don't like the people sat across from the table? I mean, I've won many games in tournaments where the people on the other side have almost ruined it because they've just been mardy, and you know what I mean? It still feels good because I won, but it's nice to play against nice people. And that's what we're trying to put across, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, if I was to say to you, right now, favourite archetype, cEDH, you got 2 seconds to answer, what is it?
It's terrible.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Favourite card?
I think it's Fear into the Abyss.
Yeah.
Because first time I bought physical Magic cards was Christmas 2020, and it was M21, and I got the bundle. And getting on there. just buy a bunch of cards. So, but I packed like 3 Peer into the Abyss, and I didn't know what Moxes were. I didn't know what I didn't know what Mana Crypt was. I didn't know Zero Drop Rocks existed. And I was like, this card's good. It's 7 mana. Draw half your deck for half of that. That's a good rate. But what do you do? How
do you get it?
Yeah, what do you do when you have half your deck in your hand? Because I cast it once. We had a weird 3-player game, me and my brothers, and I cast it, and I had half a deck in my hand, and I was like, I'll just sculpt 7 past it.
Yeah.
It's like, and then once I found out I could win off that, oh man, that was it.
Yeah.
That was so it.
It's this really crazy blend of he knows what's good. Drawing half your deck for half your life is really good, even at 7 mana. But because he's such a new player, he doesn't know how to make it pay off.
Yeah.
And that's what's really exciting about, because when I first saw Peer into the Abyss, I was like, ooh, Mana Crypt, Mox Diamond, Mox Amber, Vaults, all that stuff. Get all your Lion's Eye Diamonds and all that stuff. You'd never seen these cards, so you're just kind of like, this is good, but how is it good? And you sort of dedicated a lot of your time to like focusing the deck around making it good. And I don't mean that you've made a bad deck that makes this card good. I mean you've made a really good deck that also plays this card, and we know if this card resolves and we haven't got any interaction, we know we've lost.
Yeah,
we're resigned to losing when Dom resolves this card. Other people, I'll make you play for the win. Dom, I know, because he's put a lot of effort into this card, and like, I knew the answer, but that's who he is. I think it's very, very close follow by Ad Nauseam.
Yeah, it's Ad Nauseam, Necropotence, all very similar cards.
Yeah, he likes the fast stuff.
Yeah.
I'm on the complete other end.
What's your favourite card, Danny?
Mine's Thalia.
It couldn't be more different.
Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, for all my Death and Taxes Legacy players out there. I love it. I think that card, in its simplicity, is what makes it brilliant. It's a 2-drop. It's a 2/1 first strike, so it's removable, but it just says non-creature spells cost 1 more. It's symmetrical. So now, not only do you have a powerful effect, but you actually have to think about it when you put it in a deck. You can't just stuff it into any deck. You can't just stuff it in there and go, make this work. You've got to think about what you're building. You've got to make it work for you. But when you make it work for you, you can control a game. Maybe not so much in cEDH anymore. It still does, but not to the level it used to. But in other formats, it's just a powerhouse for that reason. And the simplicity, the card quality, the design on that card, and not only that, the Judge foil promo is one of the most beautiful cards ever printed in Magic's history. I have devoted my life to getting that card. I was as happy as if I'd had a child when I got that card.
Yeah.
It is brilliant. And obviously my favourite archetype is control, stacks, bit of combo. So I'm a blood pod player, running protein hook combos right now. So yeah, couldn't be any more different in how we like to play the game.
Which benefits us.
No, for sure, it's made us better. The iron has definitely sharpened the iron, for sure. I've got much better having to play against people that can go underneath what I do effectively. And that's what prompted me to make wholesale changes to that deck that I love so much. But it worked. Yeah. And the first thing I did when I made the changes was I showed you the deck list and went, Dom, what do you think of this? Is this going to cause you trouble? Do you think this can win quickly? And you went, yes, it can. Maybe try this, this, and this. So we tried it out the way I had it, and then I made a few changes, and now it's better than it's ever been. I would have never thought to have made those changes on my own. And there's things you've asked me about your deck that you probably wouldn't have thought of, and that's kind of what we're trying to put out on the channel as well. It's just friends playing a game of Magic, having fun, trying to get better, trying to win, because winning's important. Let's remember that. You know. We play competitive EDH. We want to win. We want to lord it over our friends.
It's different kind of personalities, different player styles. It makes it interesting, right? Like if every game was just who can get there fastest. Like, it would be very fun.
That's it. Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and that's kind of what we're trying to put out on the channel. Is people think cEDH, and I think it's kind of changing. The view's changing a little bit, but there's still a lot of people that think cEDH is this big bad wolf. You know, and maybe because in the UK it's not as prevalent, we see that a lot. Yeah. There's this big bad wolf where everyone's, you know, a pub stomper, and we're gonna embarrass people, and we're gonna make fun of them because they don't know how to play Magic and they don't know what ad nauseum does. That's not the way, as we all know. People that are going to watch this channel probably know that. Is if you're a cEDH player, you don't want to play against casual deck. You want to play against another cEDH deck because you want to test yourself out. You want to see if you can beat these other archetypes, and kind of just dispelling that notion. We kind of worked on that in our friend group because we had a lot of people that we knew were like, oh, play that, you know, you're all bullies, and now they're like, oh, that card's cool.
Well, that
card's cool.
We were at the cEDH table at the store we were at, and like we were said by the staff that we were the most interesting table to walk over to because there was always stuff going on. We were laughing the loudest. Like we were just having the most fun because everyone else was playing games that took like 3 hours, which is fine. You can do that. But I mean, we were just jamming games constantly, and like it was fun. Like, dude, because like boom, someone would win. It's like, oh, well done. Shuffle up, another game, completely different kind of game, same decks, completely different game, different winner, and it'd be funny. We're constantly giving each other a lot of shit.
But it was Tom who works at that LGS actually said it got he was a bit upset that we don't go anymore. Yeah. Because he liked to come over. He will be featured on the channel every now and then when he's free to come and play. He likes to play his Winota deck, and he was playing Jessica Ishai. Yeah, Jessica Ishai. But he might have a look at that new nice set.
He wants Doomsday as well.
Yeah, he wants to run Doomsday. Very good player.
Secret lair.
Very good player. Very good Yu-Gi-Oh player.
Yeah,
loves his Yu-Gi-Oh, but also loves his Magic. And he said he missed us. But one of the things I remember about the LGS is how many people will come over and ask us about rule interactions. Yeah. Because they knew we knew. And they knew we were approachable. They knew we weren't horrible. They knew we weren't mean. We weren't like, oh, you're thick. You don't know the game. We would help them.
We were getting people into cEDH, weren't we, as well? It's like, you can play this if you want. Just build like a Goldor deck. Build like...
I used to lend people decks and stuff like that. And you had in the past as well. Yeah. Like, we want, and people realise that we're not big bad wolves who want to bully people and laugh people off tables. We want them to join in.
Just sweaty tryhards that want to like just like, laugh at you for not, like you said, for not knowing what cards do or just stomping people that are very good.
That's it. We wanted more cEDH tables, not less.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's the point in being elite at something if the only people that play are you and one other person? You know what I mean?
Fish in a little
pond, that's it. If you want as many people to play as possible, you can really test yourself. And I'm not saying I'm elite at this game. You know what I mean? I'm not at all. Yeah. Not even close. But what's the point in trying? I want to be. I want to get better. I want to be so good that people know who I am. But what would be the point if it's me and 5 other people? I want it to be me and 500, 5,000. I want to. I think we all want to be very good. So yeah, that was also a big thing for me. Is just dispelling that notion that we're all bullies and augurs, want to club people and eat their bones. In the words of Mr. Burns, you know what I mean? Yeah. I see you as somewhat of an augur, sir. I ought to club them and eat their bones. Mr. Burns, greatest Simpson character ever. Don't quote me.
Yeah.
Don't at me. I'm not on Twitter. You can't. Also Millpool. Also the Dud.
Thrill House.
Welcome, Thrill House. But we could go on about Simpsons for hours, and this podcast would get either really exciting for people that love The Simpsons or
Very off the
really annoying for people that don't like The Simpsons. If you don't like The Simpsons, we don't like you.
Yeah, we might not be the ones, right? We might not be the ones for you.
Yeah, you're going to really love our videos if you don't like The Simpsons.
You stare at the playmouse every video, right?
So, yeah, that's it. But that's kind of an overview of who we are, what we want to achieve with this channel. We primarily, well, I say primarily, we're really only cEDH players. Another reason we wanted to get into this channel, and things that we may do in the future if it is successful, is also what we kind of wanted to throw them out there. So we're going to start off with cEDH content, Discord content, tournament content. They're our big three. That's what we want to do.
That's what we're into.
Yeah, new Discord friends.
Yeah.
New Discord games, in-person games, tournament content. That's like our big three. They're the things we want to do.
Yeah.
But we have a view to trying other things, right? Because
eventually.
Yeah, we've never played Legacy because again, there's not a big scene for it where we are.
No.
But it looks like fun.
Well, yeah, because I never delved into any other form besides Commander, but you've been watching Legacy Pit for ages.
Legacy Pit. They're not affiliated to us. They don't know us. Never met them. But if I was to tell you to watch Legacy content, I would say go and watch the Legacy Pit. They're brilliant, and they're massively based in Baltimore in the US. If you're from there, if you play Legacy, get involved in the tournaments, watch their channel, listen to their podcast. If you like wrestling, they do a wrestling podcast. The whole thing, I love it. I can sit and watch that all day. It is one of my things I'll do when I'm doing nothing else. I'll sit and just watch Legacy over and over and over. It looks like fun. And we want to try these other really competitive formats. So at some point on the channel, we'll let people know when it's going to happen. We're going to try it out. Now, we've never done it before, so it could be an absolute mess. But we want to learn. So if there's other people out there that can play these formats and enjoy these formats and know about these formats and are willing to help, we're so ready to listen. I do believe that Chaos on the cEDH Nexus is starting to do Legacy proxy allowed.
He is, yeah.
At some point when we can put some decks together, personally, I'm going to be on there and I'm going to allow myself to get smoked by these players that know how to play Legacy. And I assume at some point you will probably give that a go once we can find the deck we want to play and play it. But we want to have it on the channel. So if we find nice people, and when it happens, we don't know when right now, we will let everyone know. We will definitely do that. We want to try all sorts of new stuff, but we also want to do the stuff that you want to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's important to us. The community is important to us. As you'll see when you watch our videos, every time we use a deck list off Moxfield, we'll shout out the creator, we'll shout out the author, and if there's a Discord for it, we'll shout that out as well. We will link it because that's the most important thing. We want this to be about the community, not just here, not just in Europe, all over the world. You know what I mean? I think that was another. I don't think we mentioned that in why we started the channel, but that was like one of the major things we said is we're going to involve the community. We're going to use their deck list. We're going to say why they're good, why they're not so good. Talk about what we would do. You know what I mean? Because without the community, what's the point?
No, well, that's it. If we can build most cEDH communities are pretty good. Like proper cEDH players, because they're not spiky or salty or anything like that. No. You play games, you could get smoked on turn 2, you could have a miserable stacked out game, and just get your face beat in over the course of 8, 9, 10 turns. Yeah. You're fine for that because you build your deck to prepare for those things, so you're fine. And everyone's pretty supportive and stuff like that. And everyone's not, we'll just boot them.
That's it. That's it. And we've got a Discord channel. Move to Crombak. All welcome if they want to play cEDH. Make your own spell tables. Find free friends. Play some cEDH. Have fun. Say hello if we're on. We're always willing to find new people to play. You know what I mean? If you don't see us there, you'll see us at Treasure Series, Chaos Treasure Series, right? Yeah. We love the Treasure Series.
Chaos is the man.
Brilliant. Chaos is brilliant. Someone that we really enjoy, really look up to. Really nice guy. We both spoke to him and brilliant. So if you don't see us there, you'll see us move to Crombak. Usually Wednesdays we're on for sure. Yeah. But we're going to try and get on more often. As the community grows, going to make more time for it. And hopefully, good games, feature them on the channel.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're also looking to start a podcast, which is the first episode of. We have a few ideas of what we want to talk about. But if there's anything you want us to talk about, whether that be cards, whether that be community engagement, whether it be certain games, if you want us to, if there's a major game just gone on a final, a Mox Masters final, a Chaos Treasure Series final, or whatever the hell final, you want us to have a look at it and tell you what we think. We'll do that.
We
like watching good Magic, so we'll do that.
Oh yeah, I mean we're watching this stuff anyway. We talk to each other about it anyway. Might as well record
it. Anything you want us to talk about? Tell us.
Yeah, Q&As on our games. Like if you see something in our games that you think, why did they do that? Why didn't they do this? Or blah blah blah. Just leave it in the comments, so we might bring that up in the next podcast.
That's it. I mean, normally I'm infallible. Never make a mistake. But if I do,
same.
I'm willing to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I don't. So there's not going to be much to talk about.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to talk about Haley and Johnny's mistakes, whew, reels of them.
We'll have released a video. We're both just. That's the game that came up with the rule vlog.
I will happily, I will happily tear apart other people's mistakes.
Yeah.
But I'll also happily be torn apart for the mistakes I make, because I know it's done to raise us up, not to put us down.
Yeah, not me. It was just an off day for me.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, same.
Yeah.
I don't. The thing is, if I just played perfect every time, it get boring. But you know what I mean. But yeah, if there's something you want us to talk about, I'd like to think not only intelligent but unique point of views on things that you've heard in the community, things that other people have said. We're not going to tell you that other people are wrong, but we'll give our opinion.
Yeah, not so much drama, but
none of that. But you want to ask us something, or you want us to talk about something, you're more than happy to listen and do our best to get round to it, because that's what we're doing this for. But hopefully, most important, we want to see you on Move to Combat Discord. We want to play games against you. We want to beat you, and then we want to put those videos on the channel of us beating you, so then we can tell people how good we are.
Yeah.
And then if you beat us, obviously we'll edit that out.
Yeah. They don't know that getting used.
We don't want that.
Yeah, Stomp us turn 2. That's definitely not getting on the channel.
Yeah. I've won every tournament I played in, because I just don't remember the games I lost. They never happened. You know what I mean? Who's keeping score? No, but yeah. And if you're an especially nice person, we might actually feature your win. But you'd have to be really nice. You know what I mean? Really nice. No, but
you can do free stuff. You can subscribe to us and ring the bell and just comment and stuff. Because that's
the most important thing is subscribe, tell your friends, ring that bell, get onto Move to Combat Discord, and then tell 10 friends who play cEDH to get onto Move to Combat Discord, and then tell them to tell 10 friends, or you won't be the friend anymore. We want to pack this out with as many players as possible. When it gets jammed full of players, we're going to be on there as often as we can, because that's our bread and butter. Playing Magic.
We also have full-time jobs, but if this can encroach on that a little bit, we'll just be able to spend more time playing more cEDH. Which I mean that's just a bonus, isn't it?
That's it. That was the big thing, is I can make videos about the thing I enjoy doing more than most other things.
Yeah.
Is playing cEDH.
It's an excuse to play more as well, isn't it? Which is super cool. Right.
And to meet new people, which will make us better at Magic. You know what I mean? If we can get better.
Yeah, that's just super.
It's tough, right?
But
that's the most important thing is get on Move to Combat, ring the bell, subscribe, watch the videos, tell your friends, get involved, and just be there. And if you want to talk to us about anything, talk to us, And everyone's welcome to Move to Combat Discord. We decided not to gatekeep that. We want people there to play. Just nice people and non-cheatery people. That's it.
Because another thing with throw Chaos's name in here as well. He had a pretty zero tolerance policy with cheating and just being a dick and stuff like that. We're going to go ahead and take that approach as well, so you don't have to worry about any sort of weird bullying stuff going on Discord.
This community is about friendship. It's about winning. It's about competition, but it's about friendship. It's about making new friends, about having fun. I think that quite covers what we wanted to cover for today.
Yeah. So last thing is we're aiming for, at the minute, the plan is to do weekly uploads of cEDH games.
The podcast is going to be less as regular. It's probably going to be more when we find a good subject. Yeah, probably bi-weekly. Yeah. We'll get into a rhythm with the podcast, because it'll be finding a good subject to talk about. Sometimes ones that haven't been flogged to death. As well, finding good subjects to talk about, and finding time to do them, because again we both have full-time jobs. But
But that'll be our minimum, like the weekly
But, yeah.
CEDH games, whether Discord or in person, whatever. When I say game, CEDH video, so I might have like the quick games, like a few games
Yeah.
in there, stuff like that.
Discord games.
Discord
That's a
games
big one.
or in person, whichever. Every week, podcast every week or every other week, and then as we do more, we might just intersperse more things throughout. If we start playing Legacy, we'll do that in addition to the CEDH games rather than instead.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, once it starts taking off and getting popular and people start, subscribing and, it starts taking off properly and we can make the time to do these other things, we will do these other things. So if you're excited by these other things, whether it be CEDH, Legacy, Discord, whatever, get involved and get other people involved and we will do those other things and we will make more content. The more time we've got, most likely we want to play cEDH. If we could play daily, we probably would.
Yeah.
That kind of covers everything we want to talk about for this week. So keep an eye out for games. Keep an eye out for podcasts. Keep an eye out for the Discord. Keep an eye on our Mox fields for new decks, because you might see those decks in upcoming videos.
Yep.
So check those links out. And keep an eye on Move to Chromebat in general.
Yeah.
And tell everyone.
Yeah.
Tell everyone, even if they don't like cEDH, tell them to watch the videos anyway.
Yeah. Maybe they'll get into it from
Exactly.
watching that. You never know.
That's it. Is there anything else you want to tell the loving public, Dom?
I don't think so. So
That's it.
that'll be it. So we have more videos we're working on already. We've already got some in the bank. So we've just need to edit those and put those out. And the next one will be uploaded next week.
Yeah, so we'll see you then. I got it right.
I know you did, right? I just put it on.
I was thinking about it for ages.
Yeah, I was
See you
either.
then, see you then,
Please
see you
see you
then.
then. Please see you then.
Yeah. That was pretty good.